I got another banger for you guys. Stay tuned. In today's episode, we are discussing how to maximize your pressure washing profits. And we have a lot to cover here, guys. So we're going to jump in. But first, I wanted to mention that how we got this job here. This is another one of our HOA violation, HOA contracts. Now, a lot of you guys have been asking me about these HOA contracts. So if you guys email me, and and you're interested in finding out how to do that, how to get HOA contracts, just email me and I will send you my blueprint for that. But anyway, this guy here, you see his driveway, how nasty it is, guys? He actually got a violation from his HOA for this driveway. And what happened is, in that letter, it says, call these guys, our company, Mr. Bubbles, because they're the only ones authorized by the neighborhood to do this service in that neighborhood. So imagine I have the whole neighborhood on lockdown. Everyone in that neighborhood can only call me for this service. So, and again, I'll send you my blueprint for doing that. So let's jump right in because I got a banger for you guys today. So we're going to be talking about the 5 things actually that I really think if you guys focus on these areas within your business, you're really going to maximize those sales profits for you. So the first thing that we're going to be talking about is upselling. Upselling is key. Guys, this is something that I didn't really learn until my 4th, 5th year in a business. When I first started my business, I was always chasing that next customer, right? I was always going after the next one and the next one and the next one. And just excited about upping my numbers. Like, oh, this month I did 75 houses. Next month I want to do 100. So I was always having that sort of mindset. But as I started to grow in the business, I started to see that where you make the most amount of your money is in the upsell. So, what I want you guys to focus on is a lot of the houses that you go to, before you do anything, do a complete walkthrough and develop this ability to see where the potential is for you to make more money. Like, I'll give you guys a prime example. Right now in our company, we are making a killing with gutter cleaning. Now, I'll put up the thumbnail for our gutter cleaning episode here where we go over all the tools that you're going to need for that. But guys, some of the houses that we go to, it's more money. We charge more money for the gutter cleaning than the actual the house wash. There's tons and tons of houses where we'll charge $500-600 to do a gutter cleaning. So, and then also, stay tuned because in the next 6-7 months, I'm going to put up about 30 to 50 videos of us washing gutters out there so you guys can see that. But anyway, my point is this. Here's my point, guys. So let's say, every house that you go to, you upsell to get right around that $500 mark. And that's my point. So let's say you have your house washes around $299 to $399. So you can upsell the composite deck. You can upsell a patio. You can upsell the driveway. I'll give you guys a great example. A couple weeks ago, I went out in the field one day, did 5 jobs. And my 5th job that day, when I went to it, was just a house wash for $375. But when I did the walk around, I noticed that his basement stairwell was full of algae, and his composite deck, which was like a 10 by 10 deck, super small, it was all green and black. So I said, okay, I can upsell him here. So I knocked on his door and I said, hey, listen, I noticed that you have these areas here, and normally, and this is key right here, this is what you're going to say to your customer. Normally, it would cost XYZ amount, but because I'm here today, you're going to pay half that cost. So in this example here, I told him it was going to cost $300 to get that done, but because I was already on site, I was going to charge him $150. So I did basically the little deck and the basement stairwell for $75 each. He said, oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and do that. And boom, that's an extra $150 in my pocket. I'm already there. Guys, those two little services there literally took me, I think, like 35, 40 minutes to do. So the point here is, You always want to look for the opportunity to upsell anything, because think about it, that customer is already your customer. And a lot of times they don't even know themselves because they're not consistently walking their properties. They don't know what needs to be done. They don't remember the last time they went to their basement stairwell. So when I go to the door, I show them a picture. Look, it's full of mold. And I showed them the picture and they're like, oh my God, I haven't seen that in a while. And so, this is going to give you guys a great opportunity because, guys, guess what? I've done the test on this over the years. I've noticed that it costs $35 per average for you to get a customer these days with current prices. Okay, so you can write that in pen on your paper. Every single job that you get, that you go out to do, already costs you $35 just because of the marketing. So make sure you get that money back by, doing a walkway for $75 or doing a basement stairwell, do their little shed for $50. Add something. Now, this is my point here, guys. If you do 100 houses in a month, okay, that's only 4 jobs a day. If you do 100 jobs a month, that's 25 days you're going to work, 4 jobs a day, and you're averaging $500, guess what? That's $50K in a month. $50,000 a month. You're not going to be able to get $500 average just for the house wash, but you can get that if you add a bunch of stuff. Moving on to number 2 on our list today, guys, focus on the 20%. What do I mean by that? Focus on the things that give you result. Do not waste your time on things that action is not going to result in you making money somehow, some way. Like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you come, you're going to leave the house early, and you're sitting in your truck maybe because it's too early to get out there, and you got your job first job 9:30 or something, and you're messing around looking at Facebook on your phone. No, walk your truck, check your oil levels, check the oil level on your machine, check, for example, your filters, turn your machine on, make sure it works. Like, these are the things that you want to focus on, because guess what? If your machine runs out of oil, you're going to be 2 or 3 days without work because of it. Guess what? If your truck runs out of oil, you could be months or weeks out of work because of that. So you want to focus on the 20%. And this rule of 20%, I also apply it to the people that are in my life. Like, I don't waste time with people that are not an asset to me. And it's the same with customers. I don't waste my time talking to customers that I see are not going to give me results on the long term for my business. And that's what you want to make sure, that you're constantly spending time and investing your time, I should say, with the right set of people in your personal life and your business life, your customers, and always using that time efficiently in your business. That will help you to really be able to make more money out in the field, because you are being a wise steward of your time. And that segues real nice, guys, by the way, into the third thing on this list, which is building a solid portfolio. I just started to mention here, for example, the customers, right? Guys, guess what? Not all customers are created equal. Here at Mr. Bubbles, we have a list. It's 265 people on this list. And guess what? These 265 customers give us, on an annual basis, over $500,000. So if we did nothing but these customers, we would make over $500,000 a year just because of these 265 people. So you want to make sure that as you progress on this journey, that you identify who these customers are. These are your customers that give you tips. These are your customers that give you great Google reviews. These are your customers that they keep calling you for more services. These are your customers that refer you to their mother, their daughter, their uncle, whomever, their neighbor. You want to make sure that you separate those customers from your overall list of customers, and that you go above and beyond. Do a couple things for free for them. Like, really go out of your way to make sure that you take care of these customers, because these customers are your bread and butter. They're the ones that not only keep the lights on your business, but they're the ones who are going to give you that financial freedom for yourself and for your company. And again, guys, when you get these customers, wow, they will make your job so much easier because they're going to be your greatest cheerleader for your company. They're never going to complain about anything, and they're going to give you that consistent business. Like, I'll give you guys a great example. There's a lady that I've been working for 7 years now, and guess what? We wash her house and a couple other things. She's got 2 decks and a patio. And every year we wash her house in the spring, the summer, and the fall. We wash her house 3 times a year. And we've been doing this for 7 years now. And guess what? Every time we go out there, it's $2,200. Imagine that. And she gets it done 3 times a year. Guys, imagine like when we go to her house, we had just washed it in April and we just did it 2 weeks ago again. There's nothing there. And so these clients that you're doing on a consistent basis like that, your portfolio clients, you're going to be able to make huge profits in those houses because, one, they like the quality of your work. And then 2, because you're there on a consistent basis, it's not taking you as long because you know the property really, really, really well. You know all the nooks and crannies and all of that stuff. So you want to make sure, and this is part of that 20% thing I was talking about, you want to make sure that you spend your time wisely. And so, these customers, when you identify them, you want to make sure that you do everything within your power to take care of these customers. And as your business grows, the only way you're going to be able to make a lot of money is if your portfolio of great customers grows with you. Now, moving on to number 4. This is something that we've talked a little bit about, but I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you guys. Essentially, there's two different forms of marketing. And what we're going to talk about here, number 4, is passive form of marketing. What is passive form of marketing? Passive and active forms of marketing. Passive marketing is a type of marketing that you do one time. It might take an action or money of some kind for you to activate that form of marketing. And then after that, it just keeps working for you. A great example, probably the best example of this is Google My Business, right? Because Google My Business, I set it up 6.5, 7 years ago, where I put up a bunch of pictures and whatnot, and I went through the whole back end stuff, SEO stuff, many years ago, and guess what? Here we are 6 years later, and we're still getting a ton of results from that. That's what a passive form of income, a passive form of marketing is. Now, an active form of marketing, for example, would be flyers, right? Because flyers, you have to pay each time to get them done. Then you have to go pass them out. You're using gas and you're using your time. And guess what? If you stop doing that, the results stop coming in. Another active form of marketing would be yard signs. If you stop doing yard signs, that result stops coming in. So as you grow in this journey, like I said in the beginning, marketing, guys, is expensive. As a matter of fact, you know what? Besides labor, it is the biggest expense and the biggest headaches that all entrepreneurs, all business people face. And this will really help you guys out because it's going to save you money. I was using the example of marketing costs $35, right? So if you're doing 100 houses a month, do the math. That means that just to do those houses, it's costing you $3,500 a month. You see what I'm saying, guys? So you want to be able to have multiple forms of passive marketing, because that does not cost you any money, and it costs very, very, very little effort on your part to be able to get that done. So now I'm going to share with you guys, obviously we already talked about Google My Business. That is the number 1, and that is a given. So that's not even on my list, but I'm going to give you guys my top three forms of passive forms of marketing. So number 1, networking events for your company. What you're going to do, guys, is this. You're going to sign your company up for the Chamber of Commerce. Just Google Chamber of Commerce near me, and you're going to sign your company up for that. It's like $50. And what happens is, a lot of people don't know this, they host a bunch of events for local businesses, and you'll get an email. and you'll sign yourself up for those events. Guys, you're going to go to those events. You're going to meet other business people like yourself. You're going to meet lawyers and judges and politicians. This is a great way for you to pick up commercial work and high-end, high-end residential and all of that stuff. And the other thing with the networking that I want you guys to do is this. You're going to start with your landscapers, okay? You're going to call a bunch of businesses, and you're going to partner up with those businesses for you to be able to promote your business. Like, I'll give you guys an example. Landscapers right now, they get me 30 jobs a month. Okay, that doesn't sound a lot, but do the math, guys. Like, it adds up. And the way it works is they have their own portfolio of clients that they've been working for years, right? They sell to their clients, and we give them a price. So and a landscaper will just shoot me an address, and I'll say, oh, I can do that for $3.99. And then he sells the service to his client for $800, $700, whatever. But that can also get you a tremendous amount of customers. The other thing with networking is go to Facebook, join a bunch of meetups and all of that. Guys, as you network with a lot of people in different industries and whatnot, you're going to get your name out there. It's going to get you tons and tons of work. So we talked about that. We talked about the partnership with the different companies, your landscapers, your painters. I mean, just pick up the phone and start calling folks. And then finally, establish for yourself, guys. This is actually very important because I'm going to give you multiple examples of how this has worked for me in my business. So what you want to do is you want to establish a permanent referral program within your company. What I mean by that is you just want to communicate to people what that is. And every time we talk to customers, we constantly tell them, hey, by the way, do you have a mother, a father? Do you have a sibling in the area? We have a special this month on XYZ, and, just put a good word out there for us. And people will do that for you. If you ask them to, they will. Right? So that's what you want to do. Something that we do is we give $50 discounts for people. So I'll give you an example. Let's say a customer calls you and says, hey, they want a price on something. You give them a price and they say, hey, can you give me a discount on that? Or can you do a lower price? And they say, hey, I tell you what, I can go lower. Now, why don't you do this? Pick up your neighbor for me and I'll knock off $50. Guess what? By utilizing that technique right there, from one customer, I picked up 17 houses in the neighborhood because I said to her, hey, if you want a great deal, I can do your house for free. Just pick me up a bunch of your neighbors. She called me up 3 days later. She said, I got 17 neighbors lined up, but I want my son's house for free as well. So we did her house and her son's house, just a house wash, but we did 17 houses in one neighborhood because of that. And because of that, we picked up even more work. So you want to make sure you have a good referral program out there that you communicate to people. And finally, last on our list is, guys, you want to maximize efficiency. Now, we've talked about skill in the field. That's something that you just got to go out there and put in the work. We've talked about chemical knowledge ad nauseum on this channel. Of course, you got to know your rust and your oil stains and all of that, and obviously your SH. But what I want to talk about here is equipment. So I know you guys, you are playing with, you're not going to just be able to go out and buy $30,000, $40,000 worth of equipment. But guys, little by little, you have to get out there and you have to go upgrading your equipment, because the more you upgrade your equipment, the better and faster you're going to get. So, make sure that your equipment matches your level in the field. Eventually you want to get an 8-gallon machine. You want to get your AR-45, and that's going to make you a lot more efficient in the field. So, but that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to my channel. In the next one, we're going to talk about my favorite services that you guys can offer to people, that's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. Make sure you tune in to the next episode, guys. It's going to be a lot of great information for you there, and you're going to make a lot of money if you apply these things.